Hey friends, how are you doing? It is the 4-4 portal. It has been such a crazy busy week. It's been so busy, but I'm really pumped though. Happy Friday in this beautiful 4-4 portal. Come in and let's talk about all this Uranus energy that is kind of gracing us in this 4-4 portal. And I'll tell you what, I really love it. Excuse me, I love it because... What is all this? I'm sorry. I'm trying to pull up the chart. I love it because the 4-4 portal, especially after we pass the spring equinox, we're in this brand new 0-point reset. Beautiful Aries season energy. It's new, new, new. And of course we have that huge energy of Neptune crossing that big shift as well. So happy 4-4 portal to you. It's an excellent time to really consider, what am I grounding in? And again, also very complimentary, you guys, that we have. Where's the deck that I wanted? What did I do with it? Sorry. Y'all, my Seasons of the Witch, I guess you could, it's Ostara season, absolutely. For me, it's really stretches from the spring equinox all throughout April. You know, I will always encourage you to allow your sabbaticals, allow your observation of the wheel of the year and the beautiful nature of how Gaia, you know, flows through the seasons. Let it be a season and not so much a just, well, this day is done now, I should have done this, or this ritual or this practice. Stretch it out, you know, pick 2 things to do each week. But I was telling a friend, she's had this deck already, and I was super excited. My goal is to have all of these so that we can use them around the wheel of the year. She took a, what would you say? She went MIA a little bit and went to the wrong delivery box. And then by the time she made her way back to me, the package was damaged. And then I had to get a replacement child. Anyway, listen, Ostara Oracle is here. You do know over here, we love some Seasons of the Witch. Honestly, y'all, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm still gonna keep my Imbolc Oracle out because it's, I've told you before, it's so Aquarian. So I always keep the Seasons of the Witch Imbolc Oracle close by. It just resonates with my soul. But yeah, happy 4-4 portal. It's so beautiful. Always with 4s, we tap in. Listen, let me tell you real quick though, over here. We love a good reason to celebrate and hype some shit up. Okay, love and light. I know that people are always like, it's always some portal and it's always some, and it is. And let us have our little things, please. Child, if you don't go sit down somewhere and find a joyful practice, don't come over here taking my joy, talking about what portal is it gonna be now. It's always mother. It is. I love a good reason. I love the numerology, behind the portals, and I love to have a good reason to center some focus around an energetic portal. So I love it. It's a beautiful time. That's, you know, 4s energy. You think of the 4s in the minor arcana. You think of 4s in general. 4 pillars on a structure. 4s energy is very stable. It's very, how are we grounding? It's very, what are our foundations? We have dreams. We have North Node and Pisces energy. We've already talked about how we have other planets kind of swinging back to really take that extra dip back into the Pisces energy. So we still have a lot of Pisces with our Aries season. And, you know, we always talk about this as a hermit year. It's a number 9 year. That's the Hermit card in the tarot. That's a Virgo ruled energy. We have a South Node in Virgo. So we've got like, what is released from your embodiment practice, from your actual body, from your home, love and light. I think that energy also pairs very well with the 4-4 portal. Anytime you're thinking of grounding, calling energy in, where is the foundation of growth that I'm beginning on? Just like you're going to evaluate, like you would plant seeds for a garden. You know what I'm saying? What stone? I'm hearing a stone. Thank you if you're here. By the way, thank you so much for hanging out. If you resonate with anything that comes through, if you want to show support and be a part of the soul family, help us circulate on this platform. I really don't do this for any monetary reason. I have a separate astrological practice. I have a business where I make ritual tools. So when I come here, excuse me, it's legit just to share decks, just to share teaching, just so that we can understand how it feels to flow through the wheel of the year, to flow with the astrological wheel. We love to recalibrate and realign, mentally reprogram over here. That's a part of healing and self-awareness, love and light. You know what I'm saying? That's how you continue on your ascension and your healing path, so you can grow, so you can embrace new mindsets, so you can bring manifestations into your life, or whatever the case is. Maybe you're just wanting to live in presence and live in healing and evolve in your energy. Whatever the case may be, though, when you like, especially when you subscribe, those are just ways to kind of support us free over here. I think it's Peach Moonstone is what I'm seeing, because I was going to say, let me write it down so I don't lose it. What is the message with Peach Moonstone, Spirit? Yeah, it just helps me connect in with your energy. We align better energetically when you click like, when you click subscribe. Yes, Peach Moonstone is exactly what I was thinking about. Oh, I love it. Okay. It also circulates us to those who might be like in our soul family. This color made me think of Peach Moonstone too. People who may resonate with where we're at on our path, who may need the messages that we're sharing, who may need encouragement, who just may need that energetic connection or activation when they come here with us. So that's really awesome. Your support is appreciated. Thank you for being here. All right. Okay. Yeah. So I did get to appear in an alchemy ritual box. Really amazing opportunity. So I got all those candles, out and gone where they need to go so they can be distributed in April. So that was an amazing experience. A little bit stressful. I haven't had to get like that quantity of things ready before, so it was different. And we had 2 events, and so just coming to the end of March and just getting shipments done, etc., etc. I have a monthly major arcana group. Child, your girl been busy, but listen, I'm sounding better, right? A lot of gratitude for healing energies. Thank you so much to Spirit in the universe. Oh yeah, and then I did this really big new stock order to send to my friend so that she can have some of my tools on her shelf, and I am just really grateful. I really am. It's been tired too. My energy has definitely been lower, but I'm thankful that I'm healing, so it's good. So Spirit, what is Peach Moonstone that we have here coming through? Compassion, emotional balance. I hope you are getting outside and grounding. I hope that in whatever way you're able to do little spot checks and things here and there, organize, spring cleaning, donate. It's always in the springtime, always in Aries season when we cross that big reset point on the wheel of the year, across the equinox into Aries season. Any way you can do those things, especially with a lot of Virgo in our year, it's just only going to open up to let universe know, to let your path of co-creation. It's like saying, hey, here I am. I'm ready to receive new energy and new opportunities. Please let me call some of my energy back to myself by releasing things that I don't need or that don't serve me. It's a great time for that, right? Peach Moonstone coming through with compassion, emotional balance. understanding your emotions better, emotional stability, fostering a sense of self-worth. It is associated with new beginnings, optimism, and inner strength. Okay, great. I love that. I love that. It is a time. Spirit wants to encourage us. I'm hearing be optimistic. And it would be so easy, but Spirit is highlighting you really do have a choice, and it's easy to kind of roll your eyes and be like, yeah, but have you seen? No. What we're doing now across the 0 point reset is that we are reprogramming and the energy as it streams from the North Node in Pisces. Spirit is saying you took a bath. We are even our heart space in Venus, our heart chakras, as well as our mental body and our crowns, our third eyes. We have all went back with Mercury and Venus traveling very close degrees together. They swung back. They dipped into the ocean again. They sat in the waterfall again. Maybe it's a river. To receive more of like that spirit cleansing energy, the power within the emotional body, which heightens the intuition. And what we're doing is we're going to start embodying these codes. They are fed out into our realities as we co-create. First in what we imagine, and then in what the imaginings cause us to feel. That is the electromagnetic process. It works hand in hand together. And then what happens is through your heart chakra, and then through your beautiful hands and your dreams and the things that you say to yourself. And when you look at yourself in the mirror and when you dream to like create and write and maybe try a new path or I'm seeing a lot of crossroads energy, love and light. I'm seeing a lot of people are making choices to do it's like a reset point, and now Spirit is showing me what? Okay. I'm seeing two things. Let me write down, you guys, crossroads. Let me write down a salmon swims back upstream. And let me tell you, okay, whoa, okay, hold on. I'm seeing a lot. I'm seeing Asgard. What's the bridge, you guys? Is it called Bifrost? Whoa, it's a lot. A salmon swims upstream. The salmon is going back home because there are timelines. Spirit is trying to show me what in the... Okay, I'm just channeling and kind of receiving a download at the same time, you guys. And I think that this is important because in the 4-4 portal, Spirit wants to understand how significant it is that we are laying down upon a brand new foundation. But that all brand new foundations lay upon foundations that have been there before. Spirit is saying, just like you lay upon the foundations of your ancestors. Spirit is showing me, just like the salmon it swims upstream. How do we say, Spirit? The timeline convergence, and this is with Neptune starting over. And I think Spirit is meaning with Neptune moving back into the 0 point reset in this territory. Is Neptune still at the 0 degrees today? Excuse me. Yeah, because Neptune is so slow moving. It'll be at the 0 degree point for a while. Spirit is showing me as if, and they were trying to explain, so that Spirit was, my guides were showing me Bifrost or in Asgard and how something can be flowing like a river, which is also a bridge between timelines, like the salmon swims upstream. Like Mercury and Venus. Oh, Mercury and Venus going back to Pisces. The salmon swims upstream, like against, up the stream. And they're saying that the salmon is the oldest. Hold on. Wait, it's a lot at one time. Hold on, Spirit. Spirit said we can read salmon from this book, and we will. But it's something about how the timeline convergence, they're overlaying each other. And there's something about a comfort to people who feel like they're losing a lot, or a lot of things are changing very fast. But it's building things upon other things. And they're showing me it's like Asgard, but it looks like this chunk out in space. But it's like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's like Asgard, but it's out floating on a rock in space. And they're showing me how their rivers flow down and sometimes fold back on one another. Because if you were looking at it from space, you would understand that the water and the rivers don't flow the way that we perceive them. That it's a metaphor for time. What spirit, huh? I mean, I get it somewhere inside of my mind, but I'm trying to figure out how to articulate, and that is what they're showing me. I think what it is important to understand is that I think water is also, I mean, the moon is in Cancer today. Mars is still in Cancer, very slow moving Mars, okay, but Mars will move out of Cancer, I want to say it's like the 18th, but Mars is still in Cancer. We have a bunch of these other placements in Pisces. And Saturn and Mars are interacting with each other, but also like Mars is interacting with Uranus. Saturn is interacting with Uranus. Let me look at the chart real quick. Are we in sextiles? Let me look. Well, Saturn's in a trine with Mars, right? Mars in Cancer, Saturn in Pisces. But then Mars is also in a trine with Neptune. Neptune's in Pisces, right? So we got that water vibe going on, a grand water trine. And then we've also got, what was it with Uranus? Yeah, we've got that sextile. It's like Saturn sextile Uranus, which is not very, it's kind of on the rare side. And then we also have Mars sextiling Uranus. So it's very interesting because we have this Uranus and Taurus energy, and then we have this watery energy. So that actually fucking makes sense because Spirit is talking about the water, the salmon going back up the stream, but it's also the 444 portal, which makes me think of Uranus and Taurus. Like, what are you now calling in to ground into your life? And let's begin to look at, what is my new practical daily routine? What is the new structure? I'm seeing literal different and new energetic structures. This could be embodiment in your body. This could be, we have psychic and auric bodies. We have emotional bodies. We have etheric. We have all these other bodies. And then, of course, we have our physical body, right? And then we have these electromagnetic things and light moving through our fascia and our body. There's so much. It's not just like literally your body. So I'm seeing new energetic structures in the body. And I feel like Spirit is, and my guides are like, they're showing like, excuse me, let's look up salmon. Is something like things have to be structured differently, different foundations, different energetic structures within the body. The 4-4 portal is helping streamline some of that through. It's like an amplification of new structures, especially again within the body. Remember, lots of Virgo energy this year, 6th house energy. I'm literally seeing like people walking around it like in their homes, right? It is a hermit year. We are spending a lot more time inside. I'm not saying we need to be reclusive or anything, but it's that type of vibe. And it's like the sacred geometry, just like casting out off your body, off your aura, off of you, out of your electromagnetic field, your toroidal heart space, your aura, basically. And it's like going into the rooms and going through your house. There's a lot that's being like energetically structured, like reprogrammed. So you may feel that. Soon we'll be out of retrogrades. I would say you're out of eclipse season, but sometimes that energy takes a while to kind of ripple out. But there's a lot of repatterning. That's huge. That's hugely coming through. Repatterning. Embodiment of new codes. Yeah. Ooh, I like it. All right. Let's look. Child, am I looking right over salmon? I am. Bradan. 106. Let's see. Some of these interpretations can be long. It's very fascinating. I love to read it, but I'm not going to sit here and read you the whole thing. Wisdom, inspiration, rejuvenation. The card shows a salmon leaping towards a hazelnut that is falling from one of the 9 trees of wisdom which grow beside the sacred pool. The Om sign for reed, Natal, is carved on one of the nuts hanging near the water. Bradan is revered as extremely sacred in the Druid tradition. It is the oldest animal, and it offers us wisdom and inspiration. Often, with great difficulty, the salmon will return to the place of its birth to mate. Why is it like returning to the place? Why is it like Asgard is out there? This is very like Neptunian and Aries feelings. But it's like the rivers had to flow back to the source, and then they folded back on themselves. And there's this kind of energetic, like, I don't know, river flowing in, coming down. But it's interesting because you know how we talked about we're in like this chrysalis, this incubator. You know how I feel about Mercury retrogrades, and you get those twice, sometimes 3 times a year, but usually twice. And now we also have the Venus retrograde. Those two are literally moving within 2 or 3 degrees of each other. They are working very, very close together. There's a lot of reprogramming, and it extends from the mental body, and it extends down through the heart chakra and out into your, that's your solar gateway. That's your Stargate portal. It programs your Merkaba, you know what I'm saying? And cast out what it is that you co-create, and then and therefore manifest and magnetize back into your experience, right? Often with great difficulty, the salmon will return to the place of its birth to mate. To find wisdom, we too need to recapitulate our lives, to journey in consciousness back to our beginnings, to our childhood, perhaps, or beyond, to very origins of the god or goddess. Bradan brings not only wisdom, but youthfulness and inspiration. But remember that to find these things, you must maintain an attitude of openness and innocence, very, very North Node in Pisces, right? Rather than strong-headed determination. It's so tempting to keep reading. It's so fascinating, but I'm telling you, it gets really long. It's a really great book, though. The Oracle deck is sitting over there somewhere. I don't have it close by. Very interesting indeed. You know what? We're going to take this because you see I picked up the deck, but this one wanted to stay. Very interesting. Let's put, we got to put a stone on it, or I feel like it's naked. What do we have here? Robin. Spring into the presence of stillness, for there is much to rejoice. There is much to rejoice in there. It kind of bugs me that they said there twice, but listen, let me get like that's not that important. So 4/4 portal, very interesting. We have the Robin energy. Stability, structure, grounding, new foundations, refocusing energy, preparing to leave the retrograde cycles, exiting the eclipse portals. I will absolutely continue to remind you that it's not about going fast at all, point blank period, this year. That is not what this year is about. Okay, let's read. In the early days of March, just as the frost begins to melt, you can hear robins singing, announcing the beginning of spring. They are cheerful little birds that are often thought, okay, so bird spirits, someone may resonate. Avian, bird spirit, maybe that's like a message from your ancestors. I know mine is cardinal. And definitely, of course, crows and turkey vultures I actually really see a lot. They are cheerful little birds that are often thought to represent a positive change in your fortune. Seeing one is a sign to live in the present and enjoy life's sweetest moments, especially those having to do with loved ones and family. Robin, and that's whatever you consider family, right? Again, a hermit year, a year of 9. We're calling the energy of the 9 back to itself. Do you remember when I would be channeling? I was just thinking about when we were first coming into this year, and I kept saying the triplicity of 9, and the teaching is that the 9 always returns to itself. The 3, the 6 to 9, the 9 always returns. There's always a way to return, right? It's calling your power, calling your inheritance, the 9 is also harvest season. It's Virgo season. It's calling your power, your inheritance, what you were owed. You reap what you sow. It's all this energy of bringing it back. And it's just kind of interesting because I was saying, anyway, I was just listening to Spirit. I was talking about the return, but it's super appropriate for the energy of this year. And again, it's not about moving really fast. It's going to be tempted like, oh my goodness, I'm feeling a relief of that crazy energy of the eclipse portal. And then again, retrogrades we're going to start having forward movement, but it's all about listening to your intuition, trusting Spirit, operating from a more highly evolved space. Do you know what I mean? It's not a pattern repetition time. But the 9 returning it back to itself is making me think of like how I'm seeing this river like flow back on itself. The salmon swimming all the way back upstream and putting out all that effort. Who some would say, wow, is that fish swimming backwards? Do you get what I'm saying? It's like going backwards to go forwards. Slowing down is speeding up. Repatterning. Do you know what I'm saying? Interesting energy. Robin has appeared for you as a sign of domestic happiness and peace. Again, whatever family looks like, whatever home looks like for you, that's an important energy all year long. And your body, your pets, your daily routine, taking good care of yourself, it's more important. For example, like if you're working smarter, not harder, and you're flowing with the wheel of the year and you're flowing with the collective energies, right? This is not a year to be like boss, hustle all this money. The smarter way to flow is how can I liquidate from things that I don't need? How can I realize patterns where I spend too much money, therefore I have to work double time to make it back, and I always feel like I get ahead and then I'm behind. Yeah, it's that type of year. It's a year to be discerning, to understand how to practice detachment, not be repetitive of bad habits that cause you to cycle too quickly through energy in any form. Because when you receive a divine inheritance, you need to then be responsible and a good steward of it. You know what I'm saying? We're thinking sustainable. We're thinking discipline, long-term energy, refocusing on how we can be practical, moving in alignment, right? Making sure you're operating in choice. I'm not saying every single day we need to be perfect and you better not spend no vacation. I'm not like that. You know what I'm saying? But we all are aware of the unhealthy patterns we repeat. And it's one of those, hey, let's do a little bit of growing up this year. That's what time it is. And we're in a new set of 4. a lot of, we completed this Venus cycle. We've been talking about that. We talked about this North Node Aries partial solar eclipse that we just ended to come out the other side of. That completed a cycle. But look, you know what I'm saying? We're on our A++. I passed the test. We've completed cycles. We finished a set of 4. We're in a new set of 4. So that means the first year is like, keep your head down, take good notes, move wisely, be smart, okay? Because as the energy ticks up, yeah. You need to have a good foundation. But that's the message. That's what we're thinking about at the 4-4 portal. And it's also a time to really say, I'm really, really thankful for everything that I have. That's a very important energy to hold. This is a wonderful card to receive for love readings, as it means new love will soon enter your life, or an existing love is in a strong position. You can expect a happy home with this card, but if you haven't made your loved ones a priority, this is your invitation to do so. Excuse me. Someone needs you right now more than you can ever know. Reach out to the first person who comes to mind, extending an olive branch if necessary. By offering a chance to connect, you are filling both your heart and theirs with an unexpected joy. Receiving this card can also mean an addition to your family, such as a marriage, birth, adoption, joining a company that feels like a family, meeting a friend who feels more like a sibling. I'm also hearing like pets or stuff like that as well. Virgo energy is actually a lot about, I was talking about this the other day in a message, it's a lot about being very blessed to get to care for a pet or having plants in your home. Those are new additions as well. When it comes to finances, this card is a sign that you are in a comfortable position. Your needs are being met or will be soon, and while it doesn't symbolize wealth, it means you're secure. Any financial troubles should quickly work themselves out from this point forward. That's great. Okay, we will take that gladly on a 4-4 portal. We sure will. Ooh, you know what else I got, you guys? I haven't shown you the dog tarot yet. Look at it. I'm sorry. I love it so much. It's so pretty. It's adorable. Stinking adorable. Okay, not the Empress falling out on the bottom. I love that, paired with the Robin energy. The Empress. We want to create. Feeling creative, I don't know why I feel called to. Feeling creative doesn't always mean we're monetizing everything, too. Sometimes, I ain't even gonna lie to you, sometimes that bugs me. You know, I would be mindful too, though, on the shadow side of this energy, just because we do still have, you know, Mercury and Venus in retrograde. The 4-4 portal can be that whole, I don't know, it's almost like people I can see being in Pisces energy where they may want to be stable, spiritual, like bypassing people who don't want to sober up. They don't want to change their habits. They don't want to cross that crossroads and grow up a little bit. And it's just, you know, you can't, you need to go out and be in a dream to kind of visualize it, but you can't just stay in that place forever. You got to come down. You got to get grounded. You got to think about how you're going to make a plan, and then it's actually time to do the work. So it's not about, you know, I've got this dream, I'm just going to leap and it's going to be overnight, and it's like some crazy, you know, weird salesman energy, like we're just going to make it all and then I'm going to strike it no, and it's also not like this bypassing, like Mercury and Venus both in retrograde, like I'm going to go back to the past where I'm more comfortable and try to pull some old out of my, it's not what we're doing either. I would be mindful and protective of your energy. It's a commitment to yourself right now. It's hard work, and it's saying, I know I can do this, you know. I'm feeling into something like that could be nostalgia, you know. So just be mindful that you don't like go backwards too far into like a dream of like an old relationship, or make sure you understand, okay, I got all the clarity I need. I don't know, something about like nostalgia kind of lingering, you know, as well. So just side notes. Let's see. It's so cute, y'all. Look at it. It just makes me happy. That's interesting. So we have the Two of Wands and the Page of Wands. Yes. The Two of Wands, it would be like creative vision, inspired ideas. I love it. I am going to read from this cute little book, y'all, though. It's so adorable. It just makes my heart happy. We got to have some stuff like that sometimes, you know? Damn it. Two sticks are seemingly better than one, but you only have one set of jaws. This card is about making difficult decisions. There's a fork in the road. We literally wrote Crossroads exactly. It's a fork in the road, or rather a fork in the stick. You have a big stick, but you're being offered a small one that could be much more interesting to gnaw on. The only way to find out is to drop the one that you're carrying. You already know about big sticks. Maybe it's time to learn about little forked ones. So it's this energy of that Pisces. Remember, Pisces is the last sign on the zodiac wheel. So there still is definitely an energy of release, of letting go, of washing and cleansing and clarity. So we will still have a crossroad or two. Absolutely. Especially in a time where we have Pluto and Aquarius that prefaces all of this. We have Neptune just moved into Aries after 165 years. Neptune starting a whole new cycle. So we're going to have things that are coming up. There's a lot of bridge energy too, because when I saw the like floating like Asgard and the water references and Bifrost. Is it Bifrost? Bifrost? Yeah. Yes. The burning rainbow ridge that reaches between Midgard, Earth, and Asgard, the realm of the gods. There's something here. Remember how we kept having soul star chakra come through like that? Spirit may have messages. The soul star chakra, you bridge up and connect to that to work more closely with your team and higher self, and your higher self, higher dimensional spirit guides. So what we have Page of Wands is if you're going over a crossroad, the Page of Wands is then going to meet you there with new inspiration, right? But there's something about a sacrifice or letting something go, or I'm really cleansing myself. Let's say, i.e. from this relationship this time, or from this, it's time for me to go find a new job, or maybe I'm being called to a new career, or I have a new skill or something I'm passionate about, right? A new way to direct your energy, to direct your creativity. You do have to choose it though, so that you can then begin to make action plans and stuff like that. We were talking about in the Robin card, so that totally makes sense to me. We do love to see the Page of Wands in the Aries season and all this beautiful spring energy. It is a lot of beautiful creative beginning energy. It is, hey, let's do something with this idea. Let's do something. Someone may be going back to school. I'm seeing someone dancing. I'm seeing someone moving, like putting stuff into a moving truck. So who knows what the crossroads looks like for you, but it's a beautiful time to do it. A lot of pages though, up a lot of pages. Wands, fiery energy, visionary, Two of Wands, vision energy, dreaming things, making choices to get out of your comfort zone type of energy. We love to see that. Very brave, very courageous. Uranus and Taurus will continue to encourage us. And Uranus interacting with some of these other planets is, Saturn's going to be wrapping up almost 30 years of cycle soon. We're going to get kind of like sent off on all these new assignments, and it's going to be like, what did you learn? How are your new things sustainable? What have you learned about abundance? Uranus and Taurus, right? Until like sometime in May, if not longer, I think. Uranus and Taurus has been teaching us about what do you value? Why do you value that? Can you find value in alternative things? Maybe something long-term is sustainable and you're like, oh my gosh, I never saw that maybe I would come back here, that I would even be doing this. Or again, very crossroads, very, let's look at this garden. Is this where you want to plant for a long time? Is it sustainable? What is the long term, right? Because then Saturn's going to come into this new energy in Aries at the end of May and say, all right, let's roll up our sleeves, fam. Like, let's do it. Neptune already here in Aries. Like, let's go. I'm going to spark the dream. We spent from 2011 until now, like, reattuning ourselves in our spiritual world, in our spiritual realms, in our healing, visiting with our cosmic galactic grandmothers, being inspired by spirit, perhaps going through a spiritual initiation. I know the fuck I did. Wow. When I reflect back on it. And now here I am. But we have all been going through that in different ways. That doesn't mean we're all going to like wake up tomorrow and be spiritual for our job every day. But that means is that we take all of this into the new path that we go on. Because it's all part of the grid. Do you know what I'm saying? We have the chariot. How cute is that? Yeah, I'm going to say it with every card, okay? So, how cute. Look. We have the chariot, which is like the Merkaba card. New focus, new willpower and determination, headed in a new direction, focused, strapped in, ready to go. The Merkaba, the soul, mind, body, spirit connection, moving all together. This is a Cancer rule card. It does make me think about Mars and Cancers, and it's been like, I don't know, something about healing, something connected to your willpower and drive and the divine action that you want to take. But it goes back to like, with the Cancer energy, it goes back to like your childhood, healing wounds. Maybe for example, this is how I feel into it. Like you always wanted to do something when you were a lot younger. I don't want to say little, but you know, maybe like ever since I was in like middle school, I just knew I wanted to be a teacher. And then like all these things chipped away and you went through these experiences and you were like, I can't do that. I can't do that. Right. And then it's like that moment where you come back full circle to something, you know. Or maybe it's a version of yourself. Like I remember her. You know how people say that phrase is something like, oh yeah, my 13-year-old self would have loved who I finally am now. It's something like this. And then boom, Mars moves into Leo and it's like, oh, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I want to move forward with determination and nothing is going to get in my way. I have a lot of confidence. This can be traveling, of course, the Chariot card. It can be traveling. This can be astral travel, though. Hello, we do have North Node in Pisces. We still do have Mercury and Venus in Pisces. And Saturn in Pisces. Yeah. Okay, I don't remember. Look at Ace of Cups on the bottom. It's so cute. It's so cute. Let me remind myself, what is it? The cups? Maybe. Is it the cups? Yes. Collars and leashes. Okay. It's a spring day and you're in the park with your best friends ready to romp. In other words, the party is on. There's nothing complicated here. You're with your pals and the only item on the agenda is to play and play some more. Roll in the grass, sniff the wind, flush the bunnies out of the bushes. This card is all about pursuing joyful experiences. Of course, connecting with others is often the most joyful experience of all. And that may not be the case for everyone. Everyone may say, yeah, that's not my idea for a joyful experience, and that's okay. Maybe you do connect with animals more. Maybe you know what I'm saying? Joyful experiences are different for all of us. But I love that it's like seeking out, going across a threshold, deciding to pursue a creative vision or a new adventure, whatever it is that you go across that crossroads, you know. I love the Page of Wands energy here with the Chariot. and essentially the Three of Cups, because it's like joyful, inspired, creative, let's go, realignment of the Merkaba. I'm ready to go. I'm focused. I've done a lot of healing. I've balanced kind of like that dark horse, light horse energy, and I'm ready to go. So I love all this energy. I think it's very beautiful. It's very positive. I'm so glad to check in with you guys and wish you a happy 4/4 portal. Sorry I haven't been able to be more present this week. Honestly, really the last 2 weeks have just been like crazy. I'm to every day, and on top of that, dealing with this respiratory gunk. So I look forward to being a little bit more consistent. But I'm really just filled with gratitude for the opportunities that came up. And I appreciate you guys. All right. I hope you have a great night and enjoy your weekend. Take advantage of, meditate if you can, go outside, even if it's evening time where you are. You know, put your feet on the, and even if it's the day after this, whenever you see this, right, I will still be speaking to you from the energetics of the 4/4 portal. So take that into your lovely earbuds or however you listen. Go out onto the earth, put your feet on the ground. We are electromagnetic beings, you know, and set your intentions for what it is that you're laying foundations for, to go through and create, to go through and heal, to experience, to change and evolve for the rest of this year, right? All right, so I love you guys. I look forward to connecting with you soon. I hope you have a good night, and yeah, take good care. Bye.